Hello everyone, welcome all of you to our channel. And today I will tell you the story of a serial killer who did 12 murders and 51 rapes. Then without any delay, let's go straight to the story. There is one vicious mind in the world and there is a strange kinds of murderer. There is one smart police officer from one agency. Those who commit crimes, they are engaged to nab them. This story is of a police officer who spent 40 years of his life in solving only one case. But he also used to do some work, but his stubbornness was to solve this case. And this case was challenge not only for him, but also for the whole agency. A serial killer, a serial rapist has to be caught, about whom there is no information. And this case was challenged not only for him, but also for the whole agencies. A serial killer, rapist has to be caught, but whom there is no information. And the case was to be done by the police of California. The story is from Sacramento, a city in California, and this story is from the year 1974 to 1986. And whatever happened in California in these 12 years has never happened before, nor as it is ever happened after. In these 12 years, a man without gross goes to different part of California, commit murder and rape, and then disappear. In the beginning, he would choose the house, find out about it, and stealing there by going through the window or any other way. By doing this, he stole about 250 houses, but he was never caught. Slowly passing the time, now he changing his way, and now he choose such a house in which a girl or a woman is alone. Throughout the day, he would keep an eye on the people coming to that house, outside the house, and as soon as he was sure that there is no one in the house except that girl or woman, then he would see the opportunity and enter the house, and he always got his pass, holding a knife or a gun and another before entering the house. He would put a mask on his face so that no one could see his face. And after that, he would enter the house, control himself over that girl or woman, and then take her to the bedroom and their rape. And in the midst of all this thing, he would take the girl or woman to the same room which had TV, and then he would turn on the TV and put a towel over it so that there is no full light in the room, but there is a little light, and then in that light he would seeing her face and was proud to see frightened faces of such girls. And then on seeing many rape cases started happening in California, then all this matter reached to the police. Then the police is gave a statement that it entered the house of only those girl or women who are alone. And by chance, the rapist read this news and felt that the police was considering him weak. And they think that the serf alone can enter the house of the girl, and this thing seems like a challenge to him. He changed his way, and after this, the first thing that happened with a new husband and wife. In the morning, he goes to his house and sees everything, and at night, he enters the house through the window, and the husband and wife were in the bedroom at that time. Then suddenly it flashes on their face. Both get terrified on seeing an unknown man. The wife make noise, but he immediately take out the knife and the gun and say, "If you make noise, I will kill both of you," and forces the husband at gunpoint, and then pick up something kept there and tells the wife to tie both the hands and feet of her husband backwards. And then he courses his wife in front of her husband. During this, her husband somehow free himself and fall on this rapist. There is a scuffle between them in which the rapist shoots her husband, and then he gets the same death. Seeing that the wife starts crying, then he goes away with the same bullet. After a few days, he goes to another girl house. Her father and that girl lives in that girl house. He enters the house and destroy both of them at gunpoint. Tell the girl to tie her father hand and feet, and after that try to rape with the girl. The girl father comes in the middle. There is a hand between the two. For the first time he feels that he will lose. That's why he tried to escape on this way. On his way, kill the girl father, but their girl escaped. All these things kept happening, but for the first time he felt that he would be defeated. So he gives the end of that area and there is a lot of silence. But by the time he has covered the area till left, he has completed 51 rapes. The police are constantly searching for him. but there is no trace of him. Well, after all this, it was a famous criminal in the media in almost all parts of California, and it disappears after raping 51, but no evidence is found about it. But during this time, the media named this rapist as a East Area rapist. But then suddenly a few years later, the process of murder started in the different parts of California, and one after other, there are 25 murders would have followed. But 13th man is a little strong and he start getting heavy so that he runs away. But that man had seen it, but the face was not shown in the mask. But by then the word had spread that he comes in a killer mask. But till that time no one was thinking that he is the only one who raped the whole 51 and these murders. Why no link was being connected from about 1976 to 1986. This matters continued like this, but nothing is known about him. Like before, after 51 rapes, the matter is stopped. Similarly, after 12 murders, this case is closed again. The police keep trying to find him, but nothing is known about him. And after that time passes, year 2000 comes, but nothing is known about him. Even the police feel that someone has come to the head, did the murder, and went for another city. Then approx after 51 rapes and 12 murders, this case stops. And after one incident, there is no crime. But since 1976, the police of California and many agencies are busy in solving these cases, trying to find this murderer. All the victims and the victim families interrogate, but nothing found, which in that time used to be no CCTV and mobile, nothing special could be known about him. And whatever the police was collecting evidence from himself, nothing special, could not help. But at that time there was a police officer who was involved in this case. The name was Paul Hobbs. The time science had not progressed much, but the police had kept all the sample and evidence that was found from the victims. And then slowly time passed. After 2000, America made a lot of progress in forensic. And then after 2000, America made a lot of progress in forensic. And the police and some private agencies started keeping database, which could know many things about a person from DNA. Could have gone, people started submitting their DNA samples in agencies and in police stations. And similarly, there was a private agencies in California called GEDmatch, GEDmatch, and it was a non-government website where there was no rules and regulation. You could come, submit your DNA sample and find your match people according to you. About 1,70,000 people had put their samples on this website, and through this they used to find their match. And in the same way, with the help of DNA, tough cases started being solved. So Paul also tried to solve this case in the same way. Whatever sample was found from the victims, which was kept by the police start extracting DNA from it. And then after that it matches its criminal database, but no match found. Many months and years passed, but no match was found. But Paul did not give up. The difficulty was that he always wearing a mask, so no one ever saw his face. The police continued the investigation. Many people were picked up, but he turned out to be innocent. Then they were thrown out. And then 5 years passed. Something came to know about him, but then Paul think that's why not check the DNA of his murder in a private agencies. And then one day Paul puts the DNA of this murderer rapist on that website. And then some time passes, suddenly the match of that DNA is found on that website. This was a huge success for the police. Then when the police find out about him, they came to know that this man is from the same Sacramento and he has a very clear career. His routine life is known to everyone. If he does not go anywhere, then it is fixed that he is not a murderer, but whoever is the murderer, he belongs to his family. But the police do not tell anything because maybe he is a bloody alerted. And with great silence, Paul team does their work. Take DNA samples of all his family members, takes and slowly the police reach a sack which is little sweet, and when I came to know about him, he came to know that he was a first in the navy, and then he gave the navy ends and then joined the police force. But in 1976 he also gave up the police force, and since 1974 this rape case had started. So here is one thing about him I felt very strange, and it is a matter of June 2018 that at that time he was 72 years old, and 40 years ago he was 32 years old. But now it was that the police could not prove anything against him on the basis of DNA alone. So the police start keeping an eye on him, and all the DNA samples were picked up from his houses. And all the DNA found from the victim houses, bloods, and all the things were matched. And when everything was matched, then the police would be sure that he is the same rapist and killer. And his name was Joseph. But the California police could not arrest it directly because they were afraid that if he went to arrest, then he could do anything. He could lose her life. Then the police should make a very good relationship with some of its relatives, and they found out about the behavior. And they also said the same thing, that yes, he can do anything. So the police did not want to take any risk, and there is a high level meeting held, and it is decided that no one will arrest him after going home, but will be waiting for him to come out of the house, and when he comes out of the house, only then he will be arrested. And then the police will started living outside of his house in a casual clothes. Started waiting. After a few days he comes out of the house and is caught by the police from all four sides and handcuffed, and then he is arrested from this. And in 2018 the case starts on him, and he was an old man till that, and he could not walk again. Then police take him in the court in a wheelchair, and he is bounded by his hands because the police was afraid that he could do anything. Well, after that the case goes on above it, and this is the end of our story today. If you liked our story, then please like and subscribe our channel and share our video.